I'm here to talk about crowdfunding. I'm here to talk about crowdfunding, and so crowdfunding is a form of digital and face-to-face fundraising. But the difference with crowdfunding is the onus is on offering a benefit in terms in sort of in return for a financial contribution. So we call it rewards-based fundraising. Obviously, the benefit of doing it like that is that your supporters get something in return, which makes it feel less, less like they're having to just give the money away. And I think at this particular state of the economy and the cost of living crisis, we're finding that people are probably less likely to just give money away to charity or to community projects or whatever they want to support. But if they're getting something in return, it's more likely that they will continue to support you. So we're heavily focused on this rewards-based fundraising, and I guess the joy of having brass bands in the room is that there's plenty you can do, because the service and that you offer to the community anyway is a fantastic way of getting people to give you money in return for something, like you would when you sell tickets to a concert. But the other benefit of doing rewards-based crowdfunding is that it gives people an opportunity to donate at different price points. So you can offer different rewards in return for different donations. So you could have a minimum amount, say a minimum £10 would get you for example, a tote bag and a pen. But if you give us £100 or £200, we'll come and play carols on your doorstep. So you can appeal to a broad range of people at different price points, and hopefully that will help you be more successful in your fundraising. I'm going to talk a little bit about all the different sort of methods that we do that on the Crowdfunder platform. But firstly, I just want to say that the sort of planning the project is the most important element of running a successful crowdfunding campaign. I work with a lot of charities, social enterprises, community groups, and the first thing a lot of people do is go straight to the crowdfunding page and start setting the page up. That's obviously vitally important, but what we really want to impress on everyone is that planning your project up front before you even sort of start thinking about what your page might look like on the website is going to make your campaign as successful as possible. And I'm sure the bands in the room who've done this before will attest to that, because if you have a page up and running, well, like any fundraising campaign, if you haven't thought about how you're going to promote it, who you're going to reach out to, who your supporters are, then that page will just sit there and nobody will come to it. You've got to, sort of, it's not a case of build it, they will come. You've got to build it and force them to get there, and provide them with every opportunity to find your project and donate money to you. So this whole planning your project thing is really key. The good thing about, obviously, me being on this webinar, plus working with Crowdfunder, is there's loads and loads of material available to you. So if you've not done it before, or you're a bit rusty, because a year is a long time ago, lots and lots of help and advice on the Crowdfunder platform. Plus, obviously, hopefully I'll give you some tips today, and we'll hear from some of the other bands in the room who've also done this successfully. So these slides will get circulated, and you'll be able to sort of click on the links and find out more. But there's lots of tips and tools throughout this presentation. So as I said, planning is really, really vital. Obviously, any band or any project, whether you're a brass band or not, you'll have an existing supporter base. So they're going to be key to helping you make this as successful as possible. But what we also encourage you to do is think about the wider network as possible. So who do your supporters know? Who do your supporters, friends and family know? So trying to build that network as wide as possible, get that net. So, obviously your friends and family, but what about their friends and family? What about their friends of friends of friends? So it's kind of, making that reach as wide as possible. So start with your existing network and build that out. So think about all of the channels available to you. Obviously, this is a mainly digital fundraising, but we also because, you know, a lot of what you do is face to face in concerts, when you're out and playing on, you know, playing at fundraising events on the street, when you've got concerts going. It's really important to also have that face to face capacity as well. And so we offer some tools to help you do that as well. Um, if you've not if you're not familiar or you're not confident with social media, then I would encourage you to find maybe some members of your band who are good at that stuff. So having a Facebook page or an Instagram page where you can post video and imagery and build that sort of network online is as important as anything else that you might be doing face to face. And obviously your local community. So who do you know in the community who might support you? What corporates could you, local businesses you could go out to? Is there anybody sort of well known in the neighborhood who could help you promote this? Obviously contact with your local press, whether that's local newspaper, local websites. All of the what's on type websites are a great opportunity to promote your project and promote your band. This is probably all things, a lot of what you're doing already to promote your own concerts and your programs, but don't forget that those are the same channels you should be using to help you fundraise as well, or crowdfund. So as I said, once you've sort of thought about how you're going to promote your project, your fundraising campaign to your audience, obviously we also suggest that you ask your supporters to share your project, not just to donate to you. So sharing your project page is as important as obviously getting some money in. So for everybody who donates, whether it's £10 or £100, also ask them to share it. So it's really important that they're keeping that, that promotion going for you. So again, it's all down to the planning. If you can tee some of your best supporters, your friends and family up before your campaign starts, we find that makes a campaign more successful than if you wait until the campaign goes live and then tell everybody, oh, by the way, we're doing this crowdfunder. Let people know early, let your best supporters and your best mates know early, so that they are ready to share the project as soon as it goes live, or even before it goes live. Have a sort of early bird type a promotion so that they know it's ready to go. You can also ask your supporters and your friends and your family and your networks if they can offer a reward as well. So, it might be that they work for a local business. Can they offer you something? Can they offer you a hamper? Can they offer you some vouchers? Whatever it might be, ask, really milk that network and work out who everybody is. Where do they work? Are they at school, at college? Do they have a big business that they could, or even a small business that can help you? Do they have a shop front? Can they help you promote it? So it's really about thinking of every sort of touch point that a potential donor might come into contact with your project and utilizing it to your advantage. And then hopefully those three things combined. So getting people to share it, asking people to provide you with some kind of reward, and then also making a pledge, donating on your page. Those three things combined will make your crowdfunder really take off. So, and the good thing about that is you're not just then asking for money, you're also asking them to obviously you want the money, but also then share that with their networks. So I'll sort of keep talking about that, but it's just really vitally important that you think about that sort of network as well as asking people for money. I've done a couple of examples here of projects not relating to banding that have done really well on crowdfunder this year, because some of them have been quite unusual. And obviously what we've said is it's really, the whole key thing about crowdfunding is giving your supporters something in return. And this project, the Jug of Art, raised nearly £80,000 for youth mental health project. Now, the lady who ran it is quite well connected. She's very quite connected in the art world. So she was able to milk all her contacts and get them to give her some rewards. So it's not costing them anything. They can donate, they've donated t-shirts, artwork, bags, all sorts of things. And what we've found is that the more rewards you can offer at the different price points, the larger your average donation will be. So we find that projects that don't offer rewards at all, I think on average, a supporter will give between 15 and 18 pounds. For a project with rewards, the average donation goes up to 50. So, you're you can get three times more offering a reward than you would if you're just asking for the money. So, as I said, it's definitely worth tapping up everybody you know who could potentially give you a reward. And again, price points to suit all budgets. So you can start at £10, go up to, 500, £1,000, depending on how good the reward is. Obviously, this is where your local community can really help you promote it to their networks. And then there's some links here. So there's 55 different reward ideas. So hopefully that will spark some, ideas, some inspiration. And then some other examples of crowdfunding projects that have done this really well. So, use what is already on Crowdfunder, even if it's not, you might think, oh, it's nothing to do with brass bands. The successful projects all have certain things in common. That's that they've planned, they've offered good rewards, they've got a good network. So, use the Crowdfunder platform for inspiration for your own projects as well as, looking at all these links that I've sent you. The other advantage of Crowdfunder is that you can ask your supporters to fundraise for you as well. So like, any other giving platform, an individual can come on and say, I want to raise money for my brass band, my local brass band. The advantage of doing it through Crowdfunder, if you've offered rewards, is that your fundraisers can also offer those rewards too. So they, again, fundraising is hard, especially as an individual, especially if you're the sort of person who does it a lot. You're constantly going out to your family and friends going, can you give me £10 for this, £20 for that? Can you sponsor me, etc. By doing it through Crowdfunder with rewards, they get to say to their friends and family, oh, give me £20 and you get this in return. So it makes your supporters, your fundraisers ask slightly easier for them. And again, we find that fundraisers who can offer rewards on their page are more successful than those that don't. So again, it's like turn £50 into £500, and they can sell their rewards, then your rewards, your gifts to their network, and make it even more successful. So that's also something to bear in mind. The other alternative is running a prize draw. So a reward is where somebody gives you some money and they're guaranteed the reward in return. Prize draw obviously has an element of chance. So everybody buys a ticket and everybody goes into the hat. So everybody's got the same chance of winning. The advantage of doing a prize draw is if you're worried about offering high value prizes, especially in this current climate, it's a sort of more of a mass market. So you'll get potentially a lot more supporters, but donating a smaller value, because it might be only £5 or £10 a ticket. But also then that means you don't have to find as many prizes. You could offer just one big prize, whatever that might be. Private concert, we'll throw you a party, backstage tour, come on tour with us, whatever it might be that you can get access to. And again, lots of advice and tips on the Crowdfunder platform. I've put some links in there for you. So some really good ideas about prizes you can offer. The only thing about, I guess, prize draws is there's terms and conditions you need to consider. But again, all that help is on the Crowdfunder platform for you. And again, if you go on Crowdfunder, search prize draw, you'll see hundreds of prize draws. So you, again, use the inspiration, whether it's, offering a holiday, a once in a lifetime trip somewhere. So Edinburgh Zoo, I think I've done 5 prize draws with us now. They do it for different animals. So, the moment they're doing one for name the giraffe, they've done name the snow leopards, they've done name this, that, and the other. So, they've got they've been really creative with it. And I think it's an opportunity to as musicians, you're creative. So use that creativity to come up with some, clever, neat ideas for prizes that aren't necessarily going to cost you lots of money. So, get your band together, do a bit of a brainstorm, see what people can come up with, rather than leaving it all to yourselves. Get the team involved. Actually, that's really important. You've got this huge team of people behind you. Get your band to help you with this. What ideas can we come up with? And then, hopefully that'll spark some new and different ideas. Before I move on, just any questions? I'm conscious I'm rattling through this, so I just thought I'd pause for breath. Everybody still with me? Good. Right, this is crucial, extra funding. We have pots of money available to projects crowdfunding with us. This is all match funding. So big corporates, I'll talk to you about them in a moment, come to Crowdfunder and offer us pots of money to match fund different projects. So you could end up with double the amount of money by applying for match funding. So whatever you do, please apply if you can for a match fund. They're all capped, but some of them are quite generous. So there's a fund that we've got that's capped up to £50,000. So if you raise 50, they'll give you 50. If you raise 10, they'll give you 10. You know, it's absolutely worth doing. The other thing we do, and we don't talk about this a lot, but it's also something to bear in mind, you can also bring your own match funds to the platform and we will put it live on the platform for you. So say, for example, you have a business in your local area who says, oh, I'd like to give you a £5,000 donation. You could bring that to us and say, we've got £5,000 in match funding, and then they can potentially match every donation. So they're still giving you £5,000, but then what they're also getting is that kudos for them of being the ones who are matching all your other supporters' donations. And it also means that people are more likely to donate if they know that every £10 they give is worth £20 to you. So it's worth thinking about that again creatively. Who do you know who could potentially bring a small pot of funds that we could use as matching, because it makes them look good, makes you look good, and it's more likely to help generate more funds for you. So it's worth doing. The two pots excuse me, two pots available at the moment. Now they're both focused on climate projects, so you have to think creatively about this. We've got the Aviva Community Fund that's doing a cost of living boost up to £50,000 in match funding for projects that are promoting, sort of preventing, preparing for and protecting against the impact of climate change. So you're probably thinking, what's that got to do with my band? So for example, I know a lot of, last year we had a band who was fundraising for heating for their rehearsal space because they were cold and the roof was leaking. You could use that as an opportunity to say, we're going to invest in a new energy efficient boiler. We're going to invest in solar panels. If you do that or something around that, tying it into something to do with the climate change, energy efficiency, you're quite likely to get some match funding from Aviva. Same for M&S Energy. It's a smaller pot, so it's up to £5,000. But again, community projects who are committed to being environmentally conscious. We've had several animal charities that I've been working with who've been fundraising to buy electric vehicles. So if your old mini bus or coach needs, you need to fund for that. If you think about maybe switching to electric, again, you could get part funded for that. So it's a kind of think laterally, use your imagination, and hopefully come up with some interesting way to position your project in front of these match funders. The other thing that Aviva are doing, which it's not clear on the website, but if you look at the projects that they're supporting, you'll see they also want to support projects that are working with disadvantaged communities. So if you do any outreach work in the community, offering, say, subsidized places, scholarships, bursaries, anything like that, or you're actively working with community members who don't have access to music, or you're working in schools where they've lots of disadvantaged pupils, that's also something that they're keen to support. So that might be sort of a more obvious route for you to go down for your band. I'm going to take a pause there and introduce you to Sue, because Sue did a wonderful project last year. Blackburn and Darwin wanted to raise a relatively modest amount of money for a new tuba and basically blew it out of the water. So I'll just stop sharing. Sue, did you want to jump in and tell us all about last year's project?
Okay, right. We initially wanted to raise, I think it was £7,000 for a new tuba. And I attended all these webinars. The information you gave was invaluable. And one of the main things, I think, was what you said, make sure you've got your first donations lined up. So we did have quite a few of those lined up, and we were very lucky to get match funding, which really helped. And people don't want to be the first to donate. So as soon as people saw that people had started donating, it just went mad. I couldn't believe it, really. And then the band were very supportive. And the families had donated as well. We had 3 members that did a individual fundraising event. Some of the members went up to the top of Pendle Hill and played in the freezing cold. With Barbara that made some cake pops and sold them everywhere we went. She took these cakes. And well, mine was a bit more boring, but I decided not to eat crisps for a month and made a bit there. So we just followed everything. I think you must have provided us with a spreadsheet of what to do on day 1, what to do on day 2. And I followed that pretty much every day. I was putting things out there on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We were putting videos out there and just getting everybody to share it. So it went absolutely crazy. We did a lot of the rewards like caroling on the street, and we took flyers out with QR codes on, and people were scanning those. So we not only got the donations for people booking us, but then everybody that was there were throwing money in a bucket. And yeah, it just went absolutely mad. And then we did have a celebrity, Gareth Malone. We were on a Christmas show, and he helped us to promote it as well. So it was just fantastic. And we ended up getting 2 tubas, a baritone and a cornet. And we were playing to people that didn't even know there was a brass band in Darwin. So hopefully it's grown our audience, you know. So I think, what else have I got? I've put a few pointers down here because I'm not very good on webinars. It's just all the advice you gave us, we followed it. And yeah, basically the band were really supportive. We did a concert in Lytham as well, and they had a programme with our QR code in, and I think it was a jeweller in Blackburn donated quite a bit of money to us. So you never know who's going to give to you. It was fantastic.
Great, that's amazing, Sue. And I love the fact you've used absolutely everything that we mentioned last year and we'll mention again this year to make sure that your campaign is successful. It's brilliant. And the spreadsheet that you mentioned, the spreadsheet planner, will be available again. It's a template that we pulled together. It's got loads of different, it's basically what to do in the run up, during and after a campaign period. Gives you ideas for tweets and blogs and social posts and events and invites and all the rest of it. So really pleased to hear that that was useful for you, Sue. And obviously you, as I said, you followed it to the letter and it's been really successful. So it's absolutely, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you. And don't worry about not appearing on webinars. You're great.
Oh,
Really good. Really inspiring. Thank you.
thank you.
Julie, I'm going to put you on the spot now because she. Oh, sorry, Joanna. Do you want to? Joanna's got a question, and then I'm going to put you on the spot, Julie. No.
Okay.
I haven't. That's clap hands. Well done.
Oh, clap hands. Yes.
Oh.
I thought you were raising your hand there. Fantastic. Do you have anything to add, Julie? Because you've done this for a couple of years as well. Any tips or comments to add to what Sue said?
I agree with Sue. What we did the first year, initially, we weren't sure about the carols on your street, how to organise them. So what we actually did was that we created a single reward for a set date, a set time within the local vicinity of the village. So the couple of villages around. And so that we knew that we could turn out a small group on that date at that time. And we did several different rewards. So we'd get 3 on a day. And then what we did last year, we contacted the people who had booked us from the first year before the crowdfunding campaign went live, and just said, we're doing it again. You were interested last year. If you're interested in this year, this is the day it's going live. You know, please support us if you're able to. And so several of them just booked straight away. So on the first day, we sold quite a few of our rewards. So I think the key is trying to find something different as well. I mean, we added a reward, but we added it quite late in the campaign last year, that if people wanted a piece of music dedicating at one of our concerts, like our patrons concert, but we added it in the last sort of week or so. So I think if we're going to do that one again, we'd make sure it's on from the start, and we'd probably email our patrons who are likely to be at the concerts and give them a heads up, this is going to be available, sort of thing. So yeah, it's getting people on board. That's the key, so that you've got, the more people you've got sharing it and spreading the word, the easier it is. But it's certainly worth doing. And like I said earlier, it's made us sort of come into contact with a younger generation of the community, which is great. So
amazing.
So, yeah.
Thanks, Julie. Yeah, thank you. Sorry I put you on the spot there, but I knew you'd have some different or new ideas, and absolutely everything Sue and Julie have said. Utilize everything at your disposal, especially especially the band members who can help you with this stuff, and get out there and as Julie said, hopefully meet some different members of the community who potentially didn't know about you. So it's great, and it's really good to hear from projects so successful rather than me just telling you it works. They are proof that it works, which is great. I've just only got a couple more things to talk to you about. So let me just share this again. Obviously, don't forget that 2 other things that are available for you on Crowdfunder is regular giving. We talk about that very much in a charity sort of sense of the word, but any project can ask their supporters to sign up and give you a regular gift. So it's an opportunity to promote that. So you can say, brilliant if you can give us £20 now, but if you'd like to give us £5 a month, we can run that for you through Crowdfunder. It's very easy. The donor signs up with us, and we take it every month and pass it on to you. So a lot less admin and things for you. And if you are a registered charity, I know some of the larger bands are actually registered with the Charity Commission. You can also use Crowdfunder to claim gift aid on your donations. We use a company called Swift Aid, and they will do all that for you. Or you can do it yourself through HMRC. But just to let you know that we know a lot of smaller charities forget about gift aid, but it's another 25% on top of the donation. So definitely worth doing that. And if you're not doing it already, whatever you're doing, whatever fundraising you're doing, get your gift aid claim in, because it's again free money from the government. Who doesn't want that? As I said at the start, there's loads of, obviously, on top of myself and different webinars that will be running, and you'll hear heard from Julie and Sue on their successes. Crowdfunder have got a lot of extra help and support on the platform itself. So if you've never done crowdfunding before, there's actually a learn center where you can kind of learn how to crowdfund through different sort of 30-minute modules. They also run regular webinars where you can pop on and speak to other people like myself. You know, it's definitely worth, as I said, use all of this free information that's out there, and it'll be as successful as possible for you. Something that Sue mentioned earlier, actually, which I didn't put in my slides, but is absolutely vital, is when you sign up and create your project on Crowdfunder, from your dashboard that you get when you log in, you can download a QR code, and you can then use that for all your face-to-face fundraising. So, you know, put it on, I mean, especially with the pandemic, people aren't carrying as much cash around. You've probably noticed this. People don't have a quid to stick in a bucket anymore. Hopefully they'll give you £10 instead, but the QR code means they can donate from their phone via their Apple Pay, Google Pay, card details. So again, utilize all of these free tools available to you. Put your QR code on your program, on your tickets, on your flyers. Shops, you know, posters, get your local shops to put the posters up in the window with the QR code on. Put it on your fundraising bucket so that people who don't have cash can give you a card donation. Again, QR codes really vitally important for anybody, especially yourselves, because you're out and about face to face meeting people. Use the QR code. So next steps, nearly done. How to sign up. So obviously we've talked a lot about planning, but if you're not already registered on Crowdfunder, if you go to crowdfunder.co.uk/brassbands, you will see our lovely new home sort of hub landing page. And there is a big orange button that says start crowdfunding now. And you can add your band, your project there. And then as soon as we'll launch the campaign on the 23rd of November, so just before that date, so taking advantage of those, you know, keen early bird donors, we will make your project page go live on that hub page, and you can then start promoting your page. But as Sue's already pointed out, you know, getting some people lined up to donate to you first off will really help your campaign fly. So if you can get 4 or 5 donors who are ready the minute the project page goes live, to donate to you, that will help. It also helps from a crowdfunder perspective because we have a sort of very clever algorithm that sits behind the platform that promotes projects that are doing well, and it picks up projects that are sort of getting off the blocks early. So projects that have got a good number of donors, healthy number of donors on the first couple of days, number of so it picks up things like, yeah, it's basically what they call recency, frequency, value, how often, how soon, and how much. So if you can get a couple of, you know, so 5 donors to give you 20, 50 quid, Crowdfund will go, oh, this is a project worth thinking about, and it'll start promoting. It does its magic, and will start promoting you. The other advantage of Crowdfunder is that Crowdfunder itself, we will be promoting the Brass Bands campaign through our own social channels. Crowdfunder's got a very healthy social following. Plus, we know that we've got a really good, solid sort of supporter base who will come on and they want to find projects to support. It's not just about all the big charities. We find that Crowdfunder is very community focused. So it may be that there are people in your local area who already use Crowdfunder who go, oh, brilliant, my local band in Sheffield, great, I'm going to, you know, oh, and they've got some interesting rewards, let me give them £10. So we'll use the power of Crowdfunder as well to help promote this campaign. And obviously Brass Bands England, you're putting your might behind it as well. So you're not on your own. Obviously, we want you to promote your project as much as you can, but there are other people with tools who will help you do that as well. Also, just to note that we are running some more webinars, 4 more webinars. So if you want to join, if I've done a good job today, please come and join us on the 26th of October. We'll talk more about the actual page itself. Obviously, this webinar is very much about planning and thinking and what are we going to do. The next webinar will be about creating a great page. But if you go onto Crowdfunder now, you'll see some amazing pages already. There's plenty in this. look at what the other bands are doing and the project pages that have got great video, great imagery, great rewards, and then you're halfway there. So hopefully look forward to seeing you on the 26th or another date, and I'm open to questions.
That was fab. Thank you, Caroline. And just noting as well that use each other for support as well. We have a Facebook page called Brass Bands at Christmas, which I'll send the link out to you all via email after this. And it's a really great forum for you all to sort of chat about ideas and what's going well, what's not going well. And, you know, you can really use each other to help build your pages. And it's a great way to make connections as well in the banding community. And I will send out Caroline's slides from today as well, so you have all of those.
Links. Yes.
Apologies, I'm going to have to leave now.
No problem.
Band practice.
Have a good evening. Thank you, Sue.
Okay, thank you.
Lovely to see you. Take care.
Bye.
So has anyone got any questions for Caroline?
Nothing from me, thank you. But no, that's all been really interesting. Thank you.
Yes, ditto. It has been interesting. We haven't done this before. I mean, I was interested when you said about, you know, donating things like pens and tote bags and whatnot. But presumably you have to. This is a really stupid question. Presumably you have to buy those in the first place, so you have to then recoup those costs.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is why I think I'm making the point about using your network who can donate this sort of stuff for free, rather than you put. Yeah, we don't want. You know, you shouldn't have to. It shouldn't be a big financial outlay for you. So if you've got a friendly printer who might want to knock you up a few pens for no money, that'd be great. But if not, find somebody who can donate vouchers, you know, treats, hampers, tickets to the cinema, whatever it might be. You know, it doesn't need to be big and flashy. You know, it can be just something as simple as, you know, a meal at the local restaurant. People will give you money to have a nice day, a nice meal.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah.
I knew bands last year that did like their ticket sales for their Christmas concerts through the crowdfunder page.
Yes.
Because they had match funding, then a £10 ticket became a £20 ticket, and it's just really like handy to think of things like that. So any rewards that can, you know, you're already doing anyway, but add them as a reward to your crowdfunder page.
Great idea, Jess. Yeah.
Yeah, my three takeaways for brass bands are: use your team. You've got a great big group. Don't try and make it a project that just two people are doing. Yes, you might want somebody that's doing overall coordination, but get your band to share. If you've got 30 people in the band and they all share it to 30 people, you've reached a huge number of people. It's called crowdfunding for a reason. Get the QR code in front of people, because that's how you can use this to be additive to what you're already doing. So if you're out and about and you're getting that QR code in front of people, that's how you'll solicit those donations. And hopefully that gets them then, rather than just to throw some cash in your bucket, it gets them to see those rewards that you're looking at, and as Caroline says, it just multiplies the amount of money that they're looking to donate. And lastly, I think about the story. One of my favourite projects last year was the band from Northern Ireland, actually, Carrick Fergus band, who they were fundraising for insulation in their roof and to sort out their heating system. And the story of their video was started with the band all turning up for rehearsal, and they've got 6 jackets on each, and they made a bit of a pull on your heartstrings about why choose them to give your little donation to, so over all the other projects that are out there, and especially if you're thinking about something like that with those match fundings around green projects, really good to get involved with. Great.
Well, I'll be in touch with all of you with an email with a link to sign up to the next webinar on the 26th, how to join the Facebook page, and then for the slides for today as well. And please do get in touch if you have any questions.
Yeah.
Thank you
very much. It's really helpful.
And good luck.
Thank you all very much.
Yeah, good luck. See you all soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Oh, great.
Well done.
Oh, I love Sue and Julie.
Oh,
That makes my job so much easier. Just get them on. Waffling on about prize draws. They can just go, yeah, we did all this stuff and it was brilliant. So yeah, great. Thanks for having me again.
Oh, thank you.
It's great for us as well to refresh what we're doing and get it back in our heads.
Yeah. You've got my slides anyway. When did you want because Julie mentioned that Sue mentioned it, the spreadsheet planner thing. Do you want that for, because I know we're not doing the social webinar until the end of November, and I'm just wondering, we need that planner before then, don't we?
Could that go out in the first webinar? Or is that too soon?
I mean, it's nearly ready. I just need to, there's probably a few dates